All right, welcome. Thank you all for coming and spending a few minutes with us today. We're going to talk about Autopilot. We're going to talk about some of the great things that Rockwell Automation is doing with respect to Autopilot. So my name is Dan Oldroyd. I'm a director at Dell, responsible for our client deployment services. And I also have joining me Todd Loxley from Rockwell. And he's going to talk about all the great things that they're doing with Autopilot. And I'll come back in a few minutes and talk about how Dell has helped Rockwell and what our service offerings are that have really helped. So with that, Todd, I'll turn it over to you.
Thanks, Dan.
Your mic, your mic is not on. Where's our guy?
You unmuted? Okay, thank you.
There we go.
There we go. As Dan mentioned, I'm Todd Loxley with Rockwell Automation. That double advance, yep. A little about Rockwell Automation, scope and scale. We are a global company. We deal with everything from campus locations with multi-thousands of people down to pretty small locations that are corporate owned or sponsored, where we have a few users, all the way to that home user that doesn't show up very regularly to a Rockwell site. We also have users that are dedicated field service engineers and whatnot, especially like in the oil and gas industry. We have people who sit on an oil rig and may have never even gone to a Rockwell site. And we look to provide services to them as well. The key thing for us around Windows 10, we're looking to get rid of a really decades-old practice of us taking the device out of the box when Dell has already put a copy of Windows on it. And for some reason, we think our copy of Windows is better, just like you guys do. We're looking to move away from that, get not only the IT cost savings of no longer doing that labor, but really what it's about is speeding up the end user experience, enabling self-service for them so that they can take their device and get started within their own user context and based on their identity. Wow, this thing's touchy.
It's very sensitive.
We are really embracing the modern PC paradigm. So we do see the cloud management aspects, Azure AD, all of the cloud infrastructure components that Microsoft brings to bear, especially with a Win 10 client, as an advantage for us, really from, again, a end user experience and speed standpoint, as well as our ability then to go buy services from an IT standpoint. So we do have obviously some in-house IT, but we do look to leverage service providers to operate our IT platforms. And by using commodity services, that puts us in a position where we can then go buy those things more simply, instead of complex in-house customized SCCM deployments and whatnot. We obviously do have SCCM and use it. We've been working with Microsoft and Dell both pretty heavily, really the last year around Autopilot and the associated services. And the first hurdle, as many of you probably know, last year in Mike Niehaus and Sid's Autopilot announcement sessions, Dell wasn't on the list at the time. And we were very disappointed in that. Dan and the Dell crew responded quickly and said, you know what? You guys are going to help us get on that list. So they did a lot of work in the background. They were very ingenuitive. We had two primary requirements. Obviously, new PCs, which everyone probably expects. But we also didn't want our legacy existing systems to have to leverage a different user experience and a different process and procedure. Again, because we buy services for our operations, we want the same look and feel, not only for the end user, but for our IT ops execution. So we wanted our existing machines to be registered, and that's one of the big value plays that Dell is in the process of right now for us. We basically provided them with our existing SCCM inventory, and they are working through that in order to get all of our existing devices registered. The use case there, excuse me, the use case there in particular is we all still have drive failures, those kinds of things. Those numbers are way down when you buy Dell, but it still occasionally happens. But at any rate, that needs to be replaced. So the process we expect to use is that we use a minimal bare metal task sequence out of SCCM, get a drive ready. And by the way, Dell's working on a parts program where they will actually pre-apply the OS to your replacement drive so that you don't even have to do that part. You can just start with Autopilot. But anyway, right now we're using a little task sequence to do that. Then the user's able to just then go forward and autopilot the machine. Our position is also that we expect Win 10 to be our standard OS going forward. So even if you have a Win 7 machine today and you have a drive failure, that same scenario, we're going to replace it with Win 10 on your existing machine. So maybe? There you go. As I mentioned, Dell worked pretty diligently, moved a bunch of hurdles to accommodate our requirements. In the background, I don't know who all knows some of the details, but Microsoft didn't even have the APIs for Autopilot OEM device registration available till late August, which was like four different release times later. And so Dell actually invented a procedure where, through their ability as a cloud service provider, they're able to provide us service and provide those device registrations, actually starting even as far back in April when we started piloting things. So that's been a big hurdle taken down for us to be able to move forward as we continue to march down that modern paradigm and try to get to where we want to be steady state and with Win 10 across our entire estate.
Thanks,
With
Todd.
that, Dan?
Let me just publicly say Rockwell's been a great customer of Dell's, and we have really appreciated the partnership with Rockwell. We've had a lot of questions about how customers would want Autopilot enabled and what they'd want to do. A great example is the existing inventory of systems that they have. When they came to us and said, hey, we really want these things to be registered, what can you do? Scratch our head a little bit and figured out a way to go ahead and do that. And so they've been a great partner. I just want to publicly thank you. I know there's other Rockwell people here in the audience for allowing us to help test some of our ideas and get our Autopilot offer kind of in market for customers. We were always going to support Autopilot. Some other time we can go into why we weren't on the announcement last year. But we have gone into the Autopilot market, if you will, with full force. So Autopilot is offered on all of our commercial systems, all of our Latitudes, all of our Optiplexes, all of our Precision systems, as well as our XPS notebooks. We offer Autopilot in something like 80 plus countries. I don't remember exactly the country number. It's in all regions, so you can order it globally all around the world, which I think is important. The other thing that we've announced, it's been on Microsoft's blog. Sid had a blog on Monday. It's there. We will, in November, offer Autopilot registration for free. Okay? All that will do, though, is register the device with Autopilot. we have a paid-for service offering that does a couple of things that are really value-added services for our customers. And some of this feedback has come from Rockwell and others as we've worked with Autopilot. My hardware brothers and sisters may not like it when I say this, but the Dell image that ships on PCs that you all buy has bloatware on it. What? Can you believe that? We load software that you may not want as part of the image that goes on that system that gets shipped out. So we have what we call a generic image that strips out all of that bloatware and lets you start with a fresh version of Windows. Now we're also working with Microsoft to get rid of some of the Microsoft embedded software like Candy Crush that's part of the Windows load to really get to a true no frills version of the operating system. But our generic image gets you pretty close to that. So generic image is part of it. The other thing that Microsoft is doing is they're supporting obviously the currently shipping version of Windows 10, and they will also support the previous two versions, so N-1 and N-2. All of the OEMs are required to ship the current version of Windows. Our service offering will let you give us or tell us which version of currently supported Windows 10 you want to use. So it could be the current version, or it could be N-1 or N-2. And most of our customers are not, corporate customers are not on the current shipping version of Windows 10 because there's a lot of testing and things that they want to do before they roll it out. So you're able to use any supported version of Windows 10 that Microsoft officially supports. The last thing that we do is we will support the driver load for the systems that you want. So you don't have to worry about getting the right drivers onto the system. We manage all of that process as part of our factory load and what we're doing with Autopilot. So if you look at what we've done to help meet Rockwell's needs, we enabled Autopilot on all of our commercial PCs in all the regions that we sell systems in. We also included generic image with the version of Windows 10 that Rockwell is using. Honestly, I can't remember which version of Windows 10 you're on right now, but it's one of the supported versions.
Yeah, so we're actually one behind, so N-1 at the moment.
Yeah. And then the other thing that we did for them is we're in the process of registering all their systems. It's somewhere in the neighborhood of 20,000 systems, I think, that we're registering in the Microsoft Store through the Autopilot process. Now, those systems have obviously already shipped and are in the hands of end users, but we're going back and registering them. So this is a great example of how Rockwell and Dell have partnered together to meet the needs that Rockwell has for their end users. And I think it's another great example of what we've done in terms of our Autopilot implementation to meet specific customer needs. So with that, I think one of the values of these sessions are questions that you might have. And I probably am not too far off base here. You probably don't have questions for me. Probably have questions for Todd about how the real world implementation went. So does anyone have any questions that they would like to ask us at this time? Right here in the front.
So Dell provides you your base image. You guys do your Autopilot. Are you using personas based on who's receiving the device and then deploying certain software on there? Or does everybody get the same platform?
You
Okay,
should
so-
repeat the question
I was
for
going to repeat
everybody.
the question. So the question is, Dell provides us the device, the base OS, then through Autopilot we're provisioning the device, and then how are people getting their software basically, right? And so today we have a pretty simplified model where we're saying, hey, here we have a core build. One of the initiatives that we have is to push as much as we can to push towards self-service. One of the issues we also have is that the way that our company works, where we obviously have business services, et cetera, so we have accountants and lawyers and order entry folks, et cetera, but the broad core of our business is actually engineering, engineering and sales primarily. those two functions, they do not, even though they may have similar titles, they tend to all be in virtual teams and report to multiple entities. So from a tool set standpoint, from a digital tool set standpoint, it's not very predictive. The other thing is we roll projects. So you may be a electrical engineer working on project X for 9 months, and 10 months after that, or on the 10th month, you switch to project Y, and it's got a whole different tool set involved from a software standpoint. So we have tried personas, and to be honest, we've not been very successful at any of that, because we just aren't good at really predicting what software you're going to need. So the approach that we're driving toward is self-help, which really is self-discovery. Hey, I need this tool set. Very rarely are you the very first user. We work through our business partnership and with our business units to try to drive out those definitions. But what we're trying to do is light up, hey, if you're part of this team, here's most likely the things you want, and guide people toward that from a self-service standpoint. The big part of that on the back end, though, is that we have to be able to deliver software rapidly. It's got to be readily available, right? People have to be able to go to the basket and, oh yeah, I need one of those, and I need one of those, and one of those. You can't have some legacy corporate process where, oh yeah, hey, I need Visio, and 72 hours later, your manager on vacation says, oh, okay, what have you been doing for 4 days? And we're not done yet. We're nowhere close to done with all of that, but that's really a big part of what Intune, like the announcement to be able to deliver Win32 software now directly out of Intune, those are huge gap fillers for us as we try to march towards where we want to be. So, sure. Okay, yeah. So what's SCCM's role? So we actually enabled co-management. I don't know, January, something like that. I think it was. So we point is we are co-managed. So we've got SCCM and Intune connected. Our go-forward strategy with Win10 is that the Win10 device comes up and rolls in Intune, and we're using the bootloader, bootstrap install of the SCCM agent, so it picks up the SCCM, so we have both channels. Right now, it's kind of goofy because we got to go back to, we use a web portal for software requests on the SCCM side, and so people have to go back to that. As we go forward, over the next few months here, we're going to be working pretty hard to get stuff over into Intune so that our end users that are on Win10 can start to be using a unified experience for software delivery. One of the big conversations all of us Rockwellers who are here are talking about this week is, there's like 6-7 different ways to deliver software. Which one to use and why? And we've been pushing back on Microsoft quite a bit of, hey, I happen to hate the corporate portal, the company portal app, but that's mostly because it's like, well, you got people using Win10 at home, and they're going to the Microsoft store. Why are we doing anything else? We should have the ability to say, hey, you're going to have a corporate store experience, which is exactly the same as the Microsoft store. Just we get to manage what's in there and how it surfaces, because that's what you already know. So why force us to teach our users something else, right?
So what version of the legacy fleet, what operating system version is the legacy fleet? Are they Windows 7? Are you going to use Autopilot to update them?
So the question is, what version of OS is the legacy fleet? We're almost 100% Windows 7 on all the legacy devices. We are not currently planning to use Autopilot in order to migrate those to Win10. We are using SCCM. We've piloted with Microsoft an in-place upgrade process, a task sequence out of SCCM, and we are doing the hard things. Unfortunately, we are using a third-party full disk encryption tool, and a well-known third-party AV antivirus tool. By definition, right, those are part of your security suite. Those shouldn't be easy to remove. They're not easy to remove, especially the encryption. The AV and the anti-malware is not too bad. You can kind of work through that, and then we're all legacy BIOS boot, and we have a requirement to go to UEFI secure boot. So those were kind of the big four that we worked with Microsoft in particular the last, well, really almost a year now to get through. Was really figuring out how to automate and get our existing AV off, really how to get our existing disk encryption, because depending on how much you look into it, there's all this chatter about, oh yeah, you just switch the key authorities, and yeah, that doesn't work. Not good. So we're going to BitLocker, and going forward, that's all more manageable for us. So the question is, how long does it take you power the device on, and how long does it take for the user to have kind of the core stuff? Our experience so far has been, first of all, pretty well connected. So not our remote users in Timbuktu or wherever, but decently connected users is not any different than what Microsoft has been talking about, and that's. I was kind of surprised with some of the numbers. They're saying we see like 10 minutes a lot of the time in well-connected sites. Sometimes that can run out to like 20 minutes. But core software, that's the big variable, right? So depending on what, and for us, the primary thing to make a device usable for a user, right, is obviously the OS. Obviously, our security suite, all of our base agents, all the management channel, and then Office has to be there. So a user can't even go back to their desk and buy time if they don't have email. Yes, yeah. Office click to run, not a legacy MSI install. Yeah. Oh, good question. So he's asking if the device is encrypted or encrypting at that time. It is doing background encryption. So we enable BitLocker once the device comes up and is provisioned, which is way simpler than our third party. Our third party had a bigger impact. Yeah, full disk. We're doing full disk encryption. Yes.
Thanks, Todd. We're getting the sign that we need to end and get ready for the next theater presentation. We'll stick around here, maybe in the back, if you have further questions, but let me just say thank you again for coming and listening to us, and have a great day.
Thanks a lot.